See, by tightening with this bolt and then tapping with that mallet, I get a double impact. Pressure and impact is a tremendous, tremendous mover. It's the #1 oucher of all time. What I'm trying to do is get a print of everything that's touching hard around this metal contacting the wood there. I've got it down to probably 25 thousandths is the biggest gap I've got anywhere. And actually between the top and the bottom I got a little round, just kind of a, I mean, I've not been really careful about getting everything perfect because I've just been getting the bulk of it out of the way. And now I am into fine tuning on a different scale, different level. And things are starting to get really evident what's touching and what's not. You can see those areas that are scuffed around this little rim right here where the stock has contacted really hard. It's kind of got a, I don't know, you can just see it. You can just see it's hard. It's touching. It's really rubbing it. The more I keep trimming off of places that it's touching, the better it fits. Probably 3-4 more episodes of this and it'll be where I want it. I'm going to spare you all the boredom and the gory details and just turn this thing off for a few minutes. Alright, this only took about 2 more trial fittings, but it is there. That thing is solid. Looks like it grew there. Like a rock. It's solid. There's nothing gapped anywhere. That's the way I like to see them. Woohoo! This chisel could use a little touching up. One of my viewers had asked me show how to sharpen chisels, so we'll just take a few minutes and run that past you. This is a Washita sharpening stone that I bought when I was about 15, probably 1970, 1969. It's kind of dipped out in the middle a little bit where it's been used. I use the edges now. I used the middle for the first 40 years. Now I'm starting on the next 40 years. So by the time I'm about 100 and something, I should have it about flat again. This is Smith's honing oil. I like Buck honing oil better. So I just can't find Buck all the time. According to the directions on sharpening, now this is about a pocket knife, but most anything that you sharpen can go by these rules. Just put a little oil on there to kind of keep those pores open. Now they tell you on a pocket knife, I'll provide a real honest to goodness pocket knife just to show you this, to act like you're cutting off a slice of the stone and just try to like you're paring the stone, like so. Go from front to back and slice off a little slice of the stone. Now the angle there is debatable. The sharper you want it, the flatter the angle, but it's a delicate sharpness. In other words, you can dull it easily. The steeper the angle, the more heavy duty the blade is, and the more abuse it can take before it actually dulls it. So you want a razor knife, or do you want like a box cutter? And you have to choose that. You have to decide that what degree, what type of sharpness you want. Are you cutting string, or A buddy of mine calls a pocket knife, if he's cutting string, he calls it a rope wrench. So I usually carry a Stockman pocket knife, which has got 3 blades. So my main blade, I keep average sharp. This blade right here with a square tip on it, I sharpen a heavy duty sharp, and this one right here is an absolute scalpel. That one right there, I think it's called a spay blade, but anyway, the design of it is irrelevant. I just always use this one as a really sharp, a delicate. This is for real delicate jobs where I need a super sharp knife. What I started to say was on the directions, it says to go, you know, so many strokes one direction and then go so many strokes the next direction. I have found that holding the knife to that exact precise angle and getting it that way with all this motion in your wrist right here is difficult, at least for me. And so I have found that just going in an oval or a circle, I can hold that angle more consistently with my hand. I can keep it at that proper angle that I want. And so that's what I do. And when you sharpen metal, any kind of metal with any kind of sharpener, I don't care if it's a lawnmower blade on a grindstone, when you sharpen it enough, a little hook, the end of the sharp end will make the metal will roll up, and you'll feel this little hook like you were dragging your hand across your fingernails right there. And you can feel that on the blade. And when you go away from that blade and you feel that little dragging of on your finger, you've sharpened that side enough. You can sharpen it till the cows come home. It's not going to get any sharper than what it is right there. Once you've made that little hook, it's sharp. Stop. You're just wearing your blade out. Turn it over, do the other side until that little hook appears on this side. You're done. Then you need to just remove that little burr, that little hook. And you can do that with a leather strap. You can do it with a buffing wheel. You can do it with a steel, if you're good with a sharpening steel, you know, like butchers use. My grandmother and my father-in-law were the absolute best that's ever lived with a steel. All right, having said that, that's just pocket knives. On chisels, it's the same technique. You just simply establish your angle, and there are guidelines for chisels. I'm not sure what it is, maybe 30 degrees or something like that. Establish your angle and just act like you're slicing little slices off. You can do it in single strokes if you want. You can do it around and around and around. Whatever produces that little hook on the end of this thing is enough. It's good enough. Once that hook is there, then you need to remove the hook and you're sharp. And I like a buffing wheel with rouge on it, and that's what I'm going to go across the shop here and show you the other way of doing this. Now this is one way to do it if you're you want to remove the least amount of your chisel. You want that chisel to last you 100 years, so you want to remove the least amount of it. This is the way you do it, because you're not going to remove any wood real fast or any metal very fast with a Washita stone. And then the next finer stone is a hard Arkansas, which is like a piece of glass. But it does a good job. Now the other way to do it is with a wet grinder, a slow RPM wet grinder. And you want to wipe off this oil, this excess oil. You don't want to leave it on there. When you wipe that off and clean your stone, it's ready to go next time. You don't have all these metal particles stuck in there. All that black stuff, that's just ground metal. That's what ground metal looks like. If you don't believe it, look at the front rotor of your car or truck, your wheel. It's got that black stuff all over it. That's ground metal. Now the other way